So in this video, I'm going to show you simple but effective tips to allow you to find cheap properties today. Imagine finding deals out there that have instant equity of around 20 to 30%. Imagine that equating to instant equity that allows the most risk-averse of individuals, which includes myself, being able to buffer against financial challenges like the example of the 2008 financial crisis, where properties reduced by an average of between 20 to 25%. That means having the instant equity from day one to protect yourself against that. So hi, my name is Dwayne Squires, partner at Property Result with Richard Muse, and these type of deals are what we work on week to week, and here's just a few examples. So before we begin, selfless ask. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers on our channel by the end of this year, and hopefully we can get your help. So if you enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel to get more of these videos. So let's get into it. Tip number one, to find a cheap property. Now let's just define it in my sense, which is where the market price is higher than what the purchase price is. So for example, if the market price is 100,000 but you buy it for 80,000, that is what we consider a below market value deal and what I would consider a cheap property. Now that varies depending on the area. So in London, the prices or market price would be much greater than in other areas like the Northeast where we invest, where it can range between 40 to 70 to 80,000 pounds. So it's all relative to the area. So you must define what is cheap in the market area or investment area that you work in. Tip number two, you must work with motivated home or property sellers. That's key. This is where we're looking for an individual who isn't focusing on price, they're more looking for certainty. So what they're looking for in terms of certainty is where they're guaranteed that they can sell their property in the time frame that they need. So what kind of examples are of motivation? These may be an individual that's going through divorce. They might be looking to buy a new house themselves. They might even be relocating for a new job or just for personal reasons. But you must look at the motivation. So on average, it's around 4 to 5% of the marketplace where sellers are motivated. So you want to look for those 4 to 5% of sellers, because then once you can tell that they're motivated, you know their motivation, you can then work with them directly to negotiate and agree jointly a win-to-win situation that benefits them as well as yourself. So look out for motivation. Critically key to finding or working a cheap property. But before we move on to the next tip, I need to stress, whatever you do, you must be able to do what you say you're going to do. So if you tell the vendor you're going to complete in 4 weeks, you must be able to complete in 4 weeks. I know where their circumstances may change, but you need to be driving to do what you say you do, because it's all about credibility. It's a people business. It's a people career, and you want to make sure that people respect you and see you as someone with high integrity. So do what you say you're going to do. Now tip number three is Big 50. So in simplistic terms, all I mean by this is network. The aim here is to network with as many people as you can, but I see it as have a target to network with at least 50 individuals that can help you get these deals. What you need to do here is get in contact with your friends, family, associates who either are in the property industry or have connections with it, and then let them put you in contact with those individuals that can. What does that mean? It looks like working with solicitors, conveyancers, mortgage brokers, people from banks, local buyers, etc. All these individuals that may be working with sellers that are motivated and then can give you direct access to finding a cheap property. Now you may be thinking, how do I go about doing it? Let's not overcomplicate this. Let's not. It's simple. Text them, call them, go for lunch, email them, but key is just get in contact. And we all live a really busy life, so if you message them once or message them twice or even 3 times, it may not be enough because we're all busy. So the key here is contact and have structure with following up those contacts in a specific time period. But key, don't be a menace. Do not be a menace. Make sure you follow up in a decent time and show that you care. Sometimes in the contacts, all it needs to have is a friendly conversation or a bit of banter, and that will open the doors towards you being able to get the properties that you need. Tip number 4 is work with your local buyers. Kind of links back to the big 50, but here it's intrinsically working with other local buyers or quick house sale companies and just getting in contact and seeing whether they've got deals or leads that doesn't meet their criteria but could meet your criteria. Now this can work to make it a win-win situation for yourself as well as them. They're spending a huge amount of money on advertisement and marketing, and being able to get a high return on investment by giving you a deal for you then to convert that they would typically pass on would be a huge benefit towards them. And it's not just financial that you can win. You may come across a deal that doesn't stack up or doesn't meet your criteria, but it could meet their criteria. So let's see this as a working partnership where you can exchange deals and leads and see it for the long term. And tip number 5 is working with your local postman or postwoman. Really simple tip, but really effective. So this could be a postman or postwoman who is active and readily posting, or it could just be a retired post person. But the key thing here is this is intrinsically key when you know your goldmine area. Now I created a video recently which you can watch, and hopefully a link will come up at the top which you can click, and that will break down how you find your goldmine area. Now with this, you want to have a goldmine area or work area that's between 4,000 to 5,000 houses that this postman or postwoman is working. What are you looking for, or what are you asking them to look for, is just signs of motivation, signs that someone's looking to sell. Now that could be a for sale sign, it could be a property that is in despair or needing a bit of a repair, or it could just be that they can see a property that's empty, i.e. when they're delivering letters or mail, there's no one actually collecting it. So those are signs that someone may have relocated, someone might not have the finances to keep the property open or property up, but it's all signals, all signs of motivation. So make strong relationships with a post person who will be able to give you access to a property that has a signal of someone that may be looking to sell. And for you to find the details of the vendor, simple. Just go on the land registry and then download the title and do a title search, and that will come up with the owner's name as well as their address details. And all you want to do is write a letter to them just indicating that you're looking to purchase a property and you're interested in their property. Now the key thing I must emphasize here is write a handwritten letter, nothing printed. Just write a simple handwritten letter because it's personal, it's personable, and it means that you're not just a big company which could put off that person. It shows that you're a real person interested in their property. Let's recap over 5 tips to find cheap property. Number 1 is, first of all, define what is cheap for you. It's all relative to the investment area you're working. 2 is work with a motivated seller. 3 is work your big 50. Go out there and network. 4th is get in touch with a local buyers or quick house sale companies. And the 5th one is work with a local postman or postwoman. So if you implement these 5 tips and you consistently do it day in, day out, I guarantee that you will find those property deals, those cheap deals in the next 30 days. Now, this is where we may be able to help you if you're looking for support. So our investment area is the Northeast, and we come across such properties, cheap properties, on a daily basis. So if that interests you, please get in contact with us. Just go to the description in the YouTube video and reach out to Richard or myself. We'll be happy to help. So that wraps it up, the 5 tips. So if you like this video, please give it a like, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you'll find more videos like these.